NFL 22 on EA Sports. And tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Texans and the Seahawks, and it comes your way next.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gautin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather, snow, and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
It's the first weekend of autumn and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Here's the All-Pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Texans set to take over on offense, and we see them led out by their veteran quarterback in his 11th season in the NFL, but first in the Lone Star State, Tyrod Taylor.
His athleticism in college was never in question. In fact, many NFL scouts thought he might be better suited to play receiver, but always believed in himself, always wanted to be a quarterback, and continues to prove his worth at that position in the NFL.
Yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. An option run with Ingram. Uses the stiff arm. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 22 and a first down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From midfield now, here's Taylor. It's complete to Chris Conley. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, it's Ingram. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now it's Taylor. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
But Charles, these Seattle Seahawks, as they get ready here for the next drive, they're a team that, I don't know, I really haven't heard a whole lot about in the offseason. Maybe that's a good thing. 12-4 last year. They won the NFC West for the first time since 2016, but then they lost to the Rams in the wild card round. But what are you hearing about Seattle and the prognostication for this upcoming campaign?
Well, Brandon, they've got a brand new offensive coordinator who came from division rival Rams, and they expect this offense to take another leap. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett out wide. They get Chris Carson back full-time at running back. Russell Wilson, of course, is Russell Wilson. And they start playing a little bit better on defense, and they were starting to do that the second half of last season. This Seahawks team will once again be dangerous, but what a division. The Rams, the 49ers, the Cardinals. Wow, that's a tough division. But the Seahawks won it last year. They expect to be in that mix again this season.
And they'll open their season on the road in Indianapolis week 1. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So for this defense, a tall order had tried to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a 7th and 8th. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd and short. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Wilson will throw again. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. They'll run on first down. Carson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He was brought down by Joe Thomas.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 26. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And Gerald Everett makes a good catch there for a first down, and he was signed away from the Seattle Seahawks division rivals, the Rams, after 4 years in L.A. backing up Tyler Higbee. He's excited about his opportunity in the Pacific Northwest. Last year, 41 catches, a career high.
On first down, it's Carson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Ross Blacklock on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
J.J. Myers for the Seahawks field goal of 37-yard.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 11. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. That's out to the flat for Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Roberts now on the return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now out comes Houston. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They go play action with Taylor. And this will be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Taylor. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The Texans' new punter for 2021, Cameron Johnston, on to punt. As he's on to punt for the first time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 7 yards, the pickup there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. .47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Taylor. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to drop this underneath to Ingram. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. .37 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. He gives it off to Carson, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. They'll try the left side. Carson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Carson again. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time, they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
The extra point now coming from Myers. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Houston set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Being chased out left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
2nd and 6. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And that'll set him back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Taylor. And that is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Taylor. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Benson Mayowa in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this a quick slant to Lockett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And that guy just keeps getting better. And I'm talking about Tyler Lockett, who just made that nice catch there for a first down. Now in his 7th season with Seattle, last year may have been his finest yet. And even 100 catches, many of them of the spectacular variety. Paired with DK Metcalf, a heck of a dynamic duo for the Seahawks.
Oh, the spin. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson. He'll find Eskridge here complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 5, 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Touchdown! Chris Carson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On first down, it's Taylor. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Taylor. He's going to air it out deep for Amendola. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. But it'll be second down.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Throwing again, it's Taylor. He's letting it fly for Cooks. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a first and 10 from the 10. Taylor will throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing again on second down. Taylor. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
To throw again is Taylor. Flushed, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Tyrod Taylor as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Point after try forthcoming. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a Tyrod Taylor touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is DJ Reed returning. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of quarterback Russell Wilson. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Houston. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. Here's Reed. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, Wilson. Looking sideline, incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Well, CD, something that we've done for a number of years as the season gets going is we get predictions on each side. Let's start with the AFC. Who do you have in 2021 as your division winners?
Well, let's go to the East, and I think Buffalo repeats, although New England, they got better in the offseason, and despite starting a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones, I think they'll make a nice run at the Buffalo Bills this year. In the North, what a battle you have there. 3-way. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I like Baltimore to still win the division, but Cleveland will be right there, and Pittsburgh will make a run at the playoffs. In the South, I think it's Tennessee's division to lose. Indianapolis had a number of injuries in the offseason, and Jacksonville and Houston, they're trying to get there. And then out west, it's still Kansas City, but I love what the Los Angeles Chargers have done in the offseason.
All right, CD, and then if you had to pick, who do you have winning the AFC?
Well, I'm going to go against type here, Brandon, because teams aren't supposed to sustain as long as the Kansas City Chiefs have. But despite a retooled offensive line, I do think that they get back there again. What happened to them in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, that serves as great motivation. They want to get back and atone themselves.
They run it with Carson, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
from midfield now. Here's Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Nice throw. Big man catches the football for a first down, and that big man, that's DK Metcalf, the 9th receiver taken in the 2019 draft class. I think if we redid it, he might very well be the first one off the board. 83 catches for 1,300 yards last year.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again here. Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. They run for it with Carson. Pushes past him. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jimmy Moreland. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they just got a little help from their defense, forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Don't give them nothing.
After the interception, here's Taylor. And it's caught here, Amendola. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Or the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Taylor. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. It's fielded at the 45. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. This is Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. Houston's offense taking over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play. On third down, Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This one into the hands of Metcalf. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll try to left side. Carson, 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Texans here on third down putting an extra defender in the secondary. They run again with Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
88 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now it's Carson. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. That'll bring up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
He'll check that down to Carson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carson. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Roberts on the return.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense set to regain possession.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Taylor on 1st down. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. And Cooks has it over the middle. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And that's off the mark, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Screen play, Johnson. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the 1st. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting, instead of being aggressive and making plays.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Taylor will throw again. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Taylor. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Taylor. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Carson. Fights through it and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
116 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Bang out, bang out, bam, bam.
Wilson now to throw on third down. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in until you go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. The carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On first down, it's Carson. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So a nice kick there as they're able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Roberts now on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st down, it's Taylor.
No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Taylor.
On the check down, it's Ingram.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And that is caught at the back judge right there to say incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. No move to pull the offense. Taylor's going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.